There comes a time in every life when the air itself feels heavy, when even the light of morning seems reluctant to rise, and a man begins to wonder if the sun has forgotten his name. It is in that hour, when silence grows loud and despair whispers softly, that destiny begins its slow, invisible work. For no man ever discovered the height of his own spirit until he was pressed beneath the weight of his own sorrow. The road from desperation to destiny is not lit by comfort or ease. It is carved by tears, by faith, by the stubborn refusal to die in the darkness. Desperation, my friend, is not the enemy. It is the voice that calls a soul to awaken. It is the hunger that drives the dreamer, the ache that pushes the weary forward when all reason says stop. You see, in the grand theatre of life, every man must play both roles, the beggar and the believer, the broken and the reborn. And it is only when he has tasted both poverty of spirit and richness of hope that he understands the true weight of the word destiny. Hardship is the tutor of greatness. No king ever learned mercy on a throne. No poet ever found his truth in comfort. No saint was ever born of applause. They were all, at any hour of their lives, brought to their knees in the dust of despair. And there they met their making. Think of the great souls who shaped our world. Abraham Lincoln, born in the crude stillness of a wooden cabin, faced defeat upon defeat, yet rose with dignity, his words born not from privilege, but from pain. Charles Dickens himself, a child once sent to the blackness of factory life, his hands raw, his spirit humiliated, found in that very suffering the ink that would one day move nations. The grime of his youth became the gold of his art. What is it then that turns the broken into the brilliant? It is not luck, it is not favor, it is the decision, quiet, unseen, and sacred, to rise again and again, even when the world has stopped watching. Desperation, my friend, is the spark that tests belief. When your plans crumble and your faith falters, when those you trusted turn away, when the path ahead disappears into fog, that is the moment destiny takes note of your heart. For it is easy to believe when blessings are abundant, but true faith begins only when blessings are gone. It is in the barren fields that vision grows. It is in the night that stars are born. You must not curse the storm, for it is the only thing strong enough to lift you from the harbor. Ships are safe there, yes, but they were not built to stay. And neither were you. When life presses you against the wall, it is not to destroy you. It is to introduce you to the power you have forgotten you possess. You are more than your failures, more than your losses, more than the voice that tells you it's too late. No, destiny has no patience for surrender. It waits quietly for the moment when your spirit, beaten but breathing, says, "Not yet. I am not done." And in that whisper, the tides begin to turn. The very things that once mocked you become your teachers. The wounds that once bled begin to glow like scars of honor. Your past, once your prison, becomes your prophecy. Every soul that ever walked this earth has faced that sacred moment between ruin and rebirth. It is there, in the silence of defeat, that destiny leans close and asks, "Will you rise or will you fade?" And if you rise, even trembling, even afraid, you awaken forces you cannot see. Doors appear where there were only walls. Strength floods the veins that once carried only doubt. And the world, though it does not yet applaud, feels your shift, the unseen courage of a spirit reborn. For man's greatest triumphs are not carved in marble or sung by crowds. They happen in the unseen, in the quiet corners of a heart that refused to die. So if you find yourself in that place now, where nothing seems certain, where hope feels distant and faith feels foolish. Do not curse the hour. This, my friend, is the threshold of transformation. Every destiny begins with desperation. Every masterpiece begins as a mess. Every saint was once a sinner who refused to stay broken. Lift your eyes. The world has not abandoned you, it is shaping you. The fire you feel is not punishment, it is purification. You are being readied for something greater than you yet imagine. The world does not need your comfort, it needs your courage. It needs your story. It needs to see what a soul looks like when it refuses to yield. So let the night come, let the winds rise. Stand in the storm and know. Every drop of rain that falls upon you is washing away the weakness that once held you bound. And when morning comes, because it will, you will not be who you were. You will be what you were meant to become. For destiny does not come to the comfortable, it comes to the desperate, those who dared to believe that even in the ruins of yesterday, something holy could be born. But let me tell you something that life often hides behind its pain. You were never meant to remain the same after hardship. The struggle was never sent to destroy you, it was sent to reveal you. For what is strength if never tested? What is courage if never demanded? And what is faith if never questioned in the dark? Every storm that ever broke upon your life was sent not to steal your purpose, but to awaken it from sleep. You cannot forge steel without fire. You cannot build character without conflict. If you are to rise to greatness, you must first walk through the furnace of becoming. There is a secret written in the language of suffering that only those who endure may read. It says, "The pain that breaks you builds you. The loss that empties you prepares you. The silence that scares you teaches you to listen." The greatest transformation is never seen by others. It happens in the unseen chambers of the heart, in the long nights when you stand alone, wrestling with thoughts that whisper defeat. And yet, in that solitude, something begins to stir, a voice, faint but undeniable, that says, "There must be more." That voice is destiny calling. It will not shout, it will not plead, it simply waits quietly for the moment you decide to answer. Answer it, and the world will shift. The same street that once felt hopeless will begin to feel like a path of purpose. The same face in the mirror that once looked tired will begin to reflect the eyes of a survivor. For you will no longer walk as a victim of circumstance, but as an author of meaning. You see, desperation is not the end. It is the sacred beginning of awareness. It is the hand that pushes you from the shallows of self-pity to the deep waters of potential. And though it feels cruel, it is mercy in disguise. For without it, you might never awaken. History remembers not the comfortable, but the courageous. It remembers those who chose endurance when others chose excuses. It remembers those who stood up even when the world offered no applause. Think of Thomas Edison, a man mocked for his countless failures, and yet, through persistence, he turned darkness into light. Think of Florence Nightingale, who walked through disease and despair to bring compassion where the world saw only suffering. Think of every nameless mother, father, dreamer, worker who labored in silence, believing that their small light mattered, and in doing so changed the shape of tomorrow. Destiny, you see, does not demand perfection. It demands endurance. For in the slow, quiet grind of persistence, a miracle takes form. The seed that breaks the soil must first break itself. And so must you. You cannot reach the sky while clinging to the safety of the ground. You must be willing to shatter, to let go of what no longer serves your becoming. It is not easy. You will be misunderstood. You will be judged. You will face the loneliness of walking where few dare to tread. But know this, every step you take in faith sends a signal to destiny itself. And destiny always answers those who walk on, even when the path is unseen. You may feel unseen now. You may feel like your effort is wasted, your prayers unanswered, your strength fading. But I tell you, your struggle is not silent in the heavens. The very universe bends toward the soul that refuses to yield. Every tear you have shed is counted, remembered, and redeemed. You are being prepared for something that requires the strength of every soul.